This
Lightning,
conference will now be recorded.
we have form-based LDS, we have programming-based LDS. In form-based, you just can perform basic operations. Can you perform any custom operations like a data check? Before saving, I want to check some data, right? I want to display some custom message. Can you do that with a form-based? Not. Then in such case, you have to go ahead and you have to use imperations. In such case, you have to go ahead and you have to use imperations. There is no other option for you, right? You have to go ahead and you have to use imperations. Delete, create, wait, you have to go ahead. So delete record, then error, you have to go ahead and you have to use. Clear? In form-based, you don't have any control. The complete control lies with the system. You cannot go ahead and you cannot, right, go ahead and you cannot use this for any type of custom validation, custom messages. So whenever you want a custom validation, custom messages, you have to go for imperation. That's the requirement. Clear?
Okay. Okay. One more question. So if we are not looking at providing the custom validation or custom messages,
Not
so
required. You can go
okay.
by record form, edit form, view form, whichever form you like.
So other than these custom messages or custom validations, so any advantage of having these create records or update records when compared with forms? Okay.
No. It's I mean, actually form based is much superior than your program based,
Okay.
right? That is the reason they gave you form based, where you can perform a lot of form based operations, right? Anyone else has any further questions? Before we start, okay, let's go ahead then let's start. Today we are going to understand what is this wire, right? So complete wire service, put a heading called as wire service. They'll be a little bit theoretical today, right? So that you understand what is a wire service, right? LWC wire service. Let's understand this thoroughly first, right? Now, what is in wire? It's an inbuilt service in Salesforce to read backend data. Write down. Inbuilt service in LWC. Inbuilt service in LWC to read SFDC backend data. To read SFDC backend data. What is a wire? It's an inbuilt service in LWC to read backend data, right? So what are the properties? Number one, in LWC, it uses a reactive. It's a reactive service. Reactive service. So LWC, reactive service to read SFDC data. It's a reactive service. Number two, this service is completely based on Lightning data service. In Lightning, we had a concept called as data service. So this is built on completely on Lightning data service. Next, it uses @wire in JavaScript class to read data. @wire. It uses @wire, right? And this @wire is available in, right, UI API namespace. UI API namespace. This is the place where it is available. What is the use? Number one, to get the backend data, right? Writing a record in a backend data is currently not available. You cannot write with it. Writing a record, it's only retrieving, not writing. It's only retrieving. Currently, the function of wire is only to retrieve, not to write. Write will come very soon. It's not available as of now. Only retrieve. Right? Now, next, wire service syntax. Right? Wire service contains two steps. Import a wire adapter, decorate the wire. Whenever you want to use a wire service, right, we have to do two steps. Number one, import the wire service or wire adapter, and then decorate the wire. There are two steps you have to perform. Now, how to import? First, subheading, importing a wire. Whenever we want to import a wire, you use import keyword. Import, right? Import, we use import keyword. Import, right? You go ahead and we use import service, right? Import wire. Just in the import, in the first line where you have import, there you'll put wire from LWC. Next, what does the wire adapter consist of? Number one, adapter ID. Number two, adapter module. Wire service consists of, number one, what are the elements in wire service? Number one, adapter ID. Number two, adapter mode. Number three, adapter config. And number four, right, property or a function. Property or a function, right? So these are what the wire consists of. Whenever you say import wire, inside the wire, these are there, which you can't see. You just see a word called as wire. That's it. You don't even see what is there inside the wire. Inside the wire, you have an adapter ID. Unique. Every time you call a wire in a component, system generates one ID for it. Every wire will have its unique ID, right? Whenever you're importing wire in your LWC project, whichever project, if there are two components are there, you write two wire, import wire. It generates an ID. So wire has an adapter ID first. Number two, adapter module, right? Every wire will have its module. Module means pre-written program, which has already been written, right? Salesforce pre-written program in wire module. Salesforce pre-written program. So we don't touch this place. We don't touch the adapter. We don't touch this place. If you want, you can write it. Do not, we don't touch. We don't have access to touch this, right? Wire module, right? As a developer, you don't have an access to touch this area also. Pre-written program to interact with database is in adapter module. It's a pre-written program. Next, adapter config, right? Adapter config. Right? What is this? This is where you config. You pass the data. As a developer, we can pass. Adapter config object. This is the place where you call the method if you have seen last time @wire, right? And write object, and then you pass the field. You then you have object. Object is nothing but a method, right? Method name, comma, parameter. That is called adapter config. See, you from where do you get the method? Salesforce schema or Salesforce Apex. You get this from Salesforce Apex or Salesforce schema. Right? Config. Adapter config are nothing but this is where, right? Adapter config is nothing but these are configuration that you attach to a wire. Next, you can write a program in wire in two ways, property or function. Write down property or function. You can write the wire, right? So you can write a wire program in two ways, property or function, right? Now, what is this? We are using a word called as decorator, right? What is a decorator? Let's understand first, right? Decorators are nothing but these are additional programs that we add on an existing is called decorators. Additional program to LWC are called as decorators. Extra program, additional programs, we call them as decorators. It is similar like in Indian Army, Navy, Air Force. We use a word called as he is a highly decorated officer, right? Any officer who got a lot of medals, Ati Visishta Seva Medal, AVSM, Param Visishta Seva Medal, PVSM, Shaurya Chakra, Seva Medal, something like these type of medals. Whenever you see a army officer wearing an uniform on his chest, right, in any occasions, whether it's a Republic Day occasions or any occasions, an army officer comes with a full decorated uniform. Not like a normal uniform with a star on the shoulder and a nameplate. No. He comes with a star on his shoulder, nameplate on the chest. All the medals will be displayed. There'll be a lot of patches, badges, medals hanging on his uniform, on the shoulder collar, right? Multiple places, right? On the sleeve, on the shoulder sleeve, he will have paramilitary patches. He will have different icons on his uniform. We call them as decoration. Whenever any type of government or official celebration comes, they will decorate themselves, and then they go to the any type of function, institutions, any type of whenever there is any type of proper or I can say ceremony going on, you will see every officer, including every army personnel, will be decorated. They will decorate themselves. Same way here. To an adapter, you can add right, lot of decorators, right? You can add a lot of decorators, right? Lot of decorators, right? There are 3 decorators available. We'll see that, right? So what you can do, what is a decorator? It is nothing but adding an additional program to a to an LWC programming is called decorators or decoration. Whenever you want to add an extra program, right, we call them as decoration. Here, a wire can also be decorated. What are the decorators available? There are 2 decorators available. Wire a property, wire a function. There are 2 decorators available. Wire a property and wire a function. There are 2 decorators available. Wire a property, wire a function. Write down decorators. What is the decorators? Additional programs, additional program bracket inbuilt, mostly inbuilt. Additional program added to an LWC component. Additional program added to an LWC component is called decoration. Is called decoration. Is called decoration. Right? Is called decoration. Next line. Wire services can be decorated with number one, wire a property or wire a function. Right? So a wire, you can decorate what with a wire a property or wire a function. Write down, right? Wire decorated, right? Wire a property, wire a function. Wire a property, wire a function. These are the way we can decorate a wire service. Wire service can be decorated in these two manner. Right? Write down, right? Wire a property. What is a wire a property? Right? Okay, sorry. Before than that, write down the structure of wire decorators. Number one, wire at the rate wire. What are the way we can decorate in wire service? What is a decorator? Additional program. To this inbuilt program, how can you go ahead and add additional program is a question. Whenever you want to add an additional program, we call them as decoration. Guys, everybody clear the word decorator? What is a decorator? Decorators are nothing but these are additional programs which we put it to the right existing program, right? So how to decorate? You can decorate either with a property or with a function. So wire can be decorated with a property or with a function, right? This is the way the decoration structure looks. At the rate wire, it's a pre-written program. In the bracket, you give the adapter ID, comma, adapter config. In the bracket, you give adapter ID and the adapter config. Next, followed by property or a function. You use property or a function, right? Property or a function, right? Property or a function, right? By the way, right? Once again, now try to understand. The confusion is starting from here. What is an wire? Additional program. Additional program, what you use is called wire, right? Additional program is called decorator. Any additional program is called decorator. Now, whenever you're writing a LWC component, on that, if you use wire, that's also an additional program. Hence, wire is also a decorator. Wire is a decorator. Wire has a decorator. See, two things. Wire has two decorators, function or property. Wire has two decorators, functions or property. By the way, wire itself is a decorator because this is an additional program which you're adding to your Salesforce Lightning Web component. To your LWC, you're adding a wire. From where it came, it's an inbuilt program. So it's an additional program that you're writing on and above your custom program. Hence, wire is also a decorator. Write down. There are three decorators. There are three decorators as defined in ECMA 7. There are 3 decorators available in LWC as per ECMA 7. There are 3 decorators available in LWC as per ECMA 7. What are those? Number 1, @track. Number 2, @API. Number 3, @wire. These are additional program, right? Do you agree? Because you're writing your own program, on that you're importing this. Importing is nothing but this additional program. Additional program means it's a decorator. As clear as that. So wire itself is a decorator, right? Later, to that decorator, we add again a decorator. There are 2 decorators we add. Wire a function, wire a property, right? So wire itself is a decorator. Remember that. So there are 3 decorators available in Salesforce LWC. Number 1, @track, @API, @wire. Out of which we are learning @wire now. @track we have already seen, right? @track we have already seen. @API also we have seen. It's a public, right? It's a public, right? First let us understand and then again I will write. @track is for tracking any changes, any change in the data. @API declares the data or declares a variable as a public. @wire is to read Salesforce data. These are the 3 decorators available. Once again, I'm repeating, what is a decorator? Any additional program in LWC components are called decorators. By default, there are 3 decorators available in Salesforce. @track, @API, @wire. Right? Write down 3 decorators in LWC. Number 1, @track, @API, @wire. In front of @track, hyphen write down single word. What is @track? Right? 2, right? @track, right? To track the changes, to track the changes, to track the changes, to track the changes, right? To track the changes, right? To track the changes in LWC field, LWC field / variable. To track the change in LWC field / variable, right? For a private property, for a private property, unless until you use @API, it's a private property. Whenever you use @API, it's a public property. So whenever there's a private property and you want to change, you want to track the change, right? To track change, right, of a in LWC component of a variable, right? Variable, right? Or a private variable is called track. Is called track. Also called as private reactive property. Also called as private reactive property. Also called as private reactive property. @track. Next, @API, right? To expose, to expose, to expose, to expose an LWC component variable, to export an LWC component variable publicly is called @API. Publicly, to expose LWC component variable publicly is called API, @API, called @API. Next, the third decorator, wire. To read Salesforce data, to read Salesforce data, to read Salesforce data in LWC as a reactive mode, in LWC as a reactive mode is called wire. It's an inbuilt service to retrieve data. What is a wire? It's an inbuilt service to retrieve data. It's an inbuilt service to retrieve data. Guys, everybody clear? There are 3 wires available. There are 3 decorators available. What is a decorator? Any additional program in LWC is called decorator. These are additional program. You're importing it. Hence, they are called decorators. Then again, inside a decorator, there is another 2 decorators available. Inside the wire decorator, there are 2 more additional decorators available. Right? Wire a function, wire a property. By the way, what is the wire consist of? Wire consists of, right? What are the wire consist of? Adapter ID, adapter module, adapter config, adapter, right? Adapter config. Whenever you write a configuration, in the configuration you have two. Either you can configure with a property or with a function. What does the adapter ID store? It stores a unique ID for each and every wire adapter. Next, adapter module. It's a pre-written program. We cannot disturb this. Next, custom program. We can write it where? In the adapter config. That is the place where you can do any type of configuration. In the configuration, I can write the program, the additional program in the wire, I can write in 2 ways, property or a function. Property or a function. How does the wire decorator structure looks? @wire, adapter ID, comma, adapter config, property or a function. Right? Clear now? Now let us go ahead and see what is, we have been using wire. In the wire, what is, right? We will see, right? What is wire a property and what is wire a function? Right? Let's go ahead and start looking on it. Okay. So let me start doing the programming. Anybody has any questions before I proceed? Anybody has any questions? Anybody has any questions? What is a wire? Anybody has any questions? No? So what is a wire? It's a decoration. It's a decorator. What is a track? Decorator. What is API? Decorator. What is it? Right? What is a decorator? Any additional program in LWC is called decorator. There are 3 decorators available. Now, wire is a decorator. Inside wire, again we can decorate with property or a function. Right? You can decorate with property or a function. So let us go ahead and see. Right? Let us go ahead and see this. Right? Last time what we created. Let me take an example from last time. Just give me a sec. Okay. Let me go to JavaScript. What is this? LWC wire get contact. You're getting the contact, right? Get contact. Okay, what is this? Let me see where is the class. Just give me a sec. Classes. Get contact. Classes. Get contact. We have written one more, no? Wire 2. Okay, we will take this. We will take this wire 2. Right? I will take this same example and we'll proceed. Right? Now, I'm going to write wire. Here, we will be, whenever you want to retrieve a data, we use wire. What is a wire? It is a program to retrieve data from a Salesforce backend, right? Is called wire. And wire is an adapter. Wire is an adapter, right? Wire is a decorator. What is a decorator? It's an additional program. Additional program to retrieve Salesforce data is called wire, right? So let's go ahead. We will use the same example I'll use, right? Control Shift P. Create a Lightning Web Component. LWC underscore 2702 underscore EG1 underscore wire a function or property. Right? Wire a function or a property. I'm creating a Lightning Web Component, LWC, right? I'm creating an LWC, right? I'm creating an LWC, right? So what will you do, right? Okay, let's start, right? There are two things that we are going to do today. Star, 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 star. Wire, write a property. This is what you're going to do, right? Wire a property. Next, we will go ahead and we will do wire a function. W-Y-A, W-I, wire a function. Let's do one thing, right? So what are the things that we did in the last class? Let us go ahead and take those things again, right? In the last class, we went ahead and displayed a data. So before we start writing, let's go ahead and do some template work here. Lightning card. Lightning card. Title equals to wire a function, wire a PROPERT property or function. Wire a property or a function. Perfect. Inside this, I have a text called as li. I'm taking the same example, lightning, 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 lightning input, lightning input. Type, last time we did this, guys, I'm doing it again. Type equals to search. Type equals to search. Label equals to enter what you're searching. By the way, where is the search, right? wire 2, you're passing the name and we are saying first name like key. Enter first name to search. Enter name to search. Right? Perfect. Whenever somebody enters the data here, I will say on change. On change. What is that? SEARC, search me. This is on change. Perfect. Now, after that, we will display the data. Right? We'll display the data. So last time we displayed the data with what? Wire 2. Last time we displayed with, right? I could have taken the same thing, no? Okay, let me take the same, copy this so that you don't get disturbed. Close. I'll copy the same. Here I'll say search contact wire, right? What is that? Wire a property or wire a function. Two things will do, right? Keep watching, guys. Wire a property, wire a function. We'll do two things, right? Here also, I will say, right? I will go ahead and I'll say first one. What I will put? WIRE, wire, right? Wire, star, 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 star. Wire. What we'll do? We will go ahead and we'll say, right? Wire a property, right? So that you, for both, I will write different. Next, right? Here I will write wire a function. Two different programming in the JavaScript, two different output here in the front end. Two different output in the front end. Two different output in the front end. Right? Keep watching. First, I will write wire a property, which is quite simple. How do you write a wire a property? Last class, you have written wire a property. By default, whatever we have been writing till today was wire a property. In the JavaScript, what you did in wire a property, first is that you have imported couple of things. Number one, you have to import wire, W-I-R-E. Wire got imported. Step one. Next, you have imported the method, right? I'm going to the last class example only. Here is JavaScript. You went ahead and imported this. Right? This is what you did. Everyone, right? This is what we did, right? Same thing I'm doing here. I'm coming here. You imported the method. Find contact. Is it that the method? Let me check it out once again. Right? From wire 2, in the wire 2, find contacts. Perfect. First step is that you include wire. Second step is that you import the method. Third step, right? What you did. Yes. You just went ahead and declared these two. Control C. Or I will copy this all till here. Control C. Here is. right? Oh, sorry. Where is the bracket? All brackets, it's better that to write. Okay, I'll copy one by one. Here is, right? First thing, whatever the search key data you declared in the page, here you see that in the page, I've entered the search key. Somebody has entered, so I declared it, right? By the way, I'm not using track, so I'm using all the @ track, comma, track. Perfect. We have used the track. Next, what you're doing, right? Next, right? I'm going ahead and we are doing what? We are doing a wire. So let me go ahead. Last class, copy this. Before copying that, whatever the changes that was done in the page, I have to bring those changes in. Here you go, right? Handle change. In my page, whatever the data that you enter on the search text will call what? You can see that I'm calling a function called as handle on change. And this is the function, handle on change. Perfect. Any data that you enter in the page will be now copied to search text. Now, last class, we went ahead and did this. Control C. I come to the Java function. I paste it here. This is called as wire a property, right? This is called as wire a property, where wire method name, to that method you're passing the search text, and all the data is dumped in this contact. No further programming. All the data is dumped in this contact. This is called wire a property. You have been writing this program since long. I mean, last class itself we started writing wire and we have been writing this, right? This is called wire a property. Control S, Control Shift P, authorize an org, right? I'm authorizing an org. Wait. Whatever we have been writing, the wires, they were all wire a property. Now let us wait for system to log us in. Rupam @lt104.com, password CRM1234#. Login or org authorization to org was successful. I close it. Control Shift P. Deploy this to the source org. Let it deploy. Okay, deploy ran successfully. I copy this, rename, Control C, Rupam@lt104.com, password CRM1234 hash. Setup developer console. I remove it. I say Control S. In the dummy app, I say preview. What happened? I got nothing. Right? Update preview. Why we
Rupam,
got nothing? Yep, tell me.
the HTML is not saved.
HTML is not saved. Okay. HTML is not saved. Control Shift P. We didn't see that. Deploy to the source org. I'll close this. This is exactly the last class, guys. I just copied and pasted it. Whatever the wire programming we have done so far, these are all wire a property. Just calling the wire with the method name, passing the parameter, getting the data. Right? Okay. So there we go. I go ahead and refresh. As soon as I type A, system gives me everything. Everything related to A. Perfect. AB, see, only one Barbara. What we're doing, what is an wire a property? Use the wire decorator, method name, comma, pass the parameter, and the next is get the data. Next is get the data. This is called wire a property, right? Wire a property. Wire a property. Last class we did wire a property, right? Last class we did wire a property. Simple. Use decorator. Step one, right? Just as simple as that, right? Use a decorator. Use a decorator. Next, inside this, right? Wire, what is that? Method name. Method, what is that? In that method, pass variable, call method, pass variable, and finally get the result. Result will be stored in this particular variable. This is the way wire a property is working. This is the way the wire array property is working. You just call the wire and you decorate, right? We decorate with a property. What? We go ahead and give the method name, we give the right text, and we get the data. That's it. Quite simple. Wire array property. The things will change when I write wire array, right, function. Now, the same data, same thing we will do. Same thing. I'm commenting this. So do I'm commenting everything. This all I have to comment now. Because, right, so do I'm commenting this also. Till here. Till here. What happened? Oh, it's not taking it. We started from here, no? Commented. Right? Commented.
Actually, it is
Oh.
considering the lines
Yeah,
4 to
yeah,
18 as comments.
yeah, I know that. Comment. Let me comment from here. Don't worry, no issues. If they are intelligent, we are also very intelligent. Control X. No, it is not. Okay, let me do one thing. Not the template. I'll complete till card. Right.
Starting tag, remove the arrow mark. Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. It's also intelligent. We are also intelligent. Right. Okay. There we go. I commented the whole, right, wire array property. Now we will go ahead and we'll write wire array function.
Rupam, before you continue, I have a small question.
Tell me, go ahead.
Can you go to the JavaScript?
Yeah, sure. I'm going to the, right, let me see where I have errors and everything. Okay. Tell me, I'm in the JavaScript.
So the pass variable search key, should it be in quotations all the time, or are there any exceptions?
It should be quotation in all the time.
Okay.
Right? It could be in a single quote, double quote. Any quote is, it's okay. But it has to be in the quotation. You have to put $. If you don't put $, then every time system will not search AB. For example, I'm searching what? AB. It will not search AB. Every time it will search only one thing called search key. It will
So
search a
is it,
name called as search key.
yeah, is
Tell
it
me.
okay to remove the quotations and dollar and just put search key? Will that work?
It should be. Ideally,
Okay.
it should be working. Right? Because it's a key value pair. Ideally, it should be working.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
Perfect. I've given quotations so that in case if you want to pass any hard-coded value, search Roop. Every time it will search Roop. Whatever you type there, it will search Roop only. So that was the reason that I gave. So it should be. Right? Perfect. Wait now. Now, let us write wire array function. Let us write wire array function. How do you write a wire array function? It is quite different. Right? Here also, what we will do? We will say @wire. That's the decorator I'm using. Bracket. Till here, the things are same. Till here, the things are same. Wire, call the method, pass the parameter. Call the method, pass the parameter. Here there's a contact. That's also same. Both wire property and wire function look same. But now from here, things will change. Things will change. Things will change. We'll put a bracket. We'll put a bracket. Contact. We'll put a bracket. Right? In this, you will define, right, error, comma, data. In this, you will define error, comma, data. And then you start writing the program. See the difference between this and this. This is wire property. This is wire function. Right? In the function, we can write our own method. See, here I have written a function now. It's no more a variable. Earlier, in this line number 14, this is a variable where the data is dumped. This is the variable where the data is dumped. Last time I have taken Rupam. Rupam.data will give you data. Rupam.error will give you error. These keywords can be changed? No. These are keywords, error and data. Right? See the differences. Writing. Now I will write the program inside this curly bracket, press enter, and I can write the error. I can write my own program. If, so that I'm writing an if else statement. If, else, else if, right? Else, I can write anything, right? Else, up. If what? If data, if data means if data is there, then I will say here, right? Contact is containing the data, and that contact you are using in the page directly. Contact.data. You are using that in the page directly. But in my case, now what I'll do, I'll declare one more variable here. At the rate. What is that? Right? RUP roop data. Right? Why at the rate? Roop data. Comma. RUP roop error. Roop data, roop error. I've declared two variables. It can change, so there is no harm if I use at the rate track. If I don't use also, no issues. At the rate track. So that two variables are there. Now, if data is there, then I will say this dot, right? RUP roop data is equals to data. Else, what I will say? This dot RUP roop error equals to error. Whatever is error, store in that. Right? Clear, guys, what I'm doing? Right? Now, there's a problem. Let's see. This dot, what I will say, right? If there's an error, then the data, I have to say roop.data is equals to undefined. Because see, I'll be using this two properties, I will be using these two variables in my template. Whatever might be the case, the template, whatever might be the case, right? The system will try to read the data. So that's the reason if there's an error, I'm setting the data to undefined. That means there's nothing. Undefined. So there is no data in that. If there's error, if there's a data is there, then roop.data. If data, then data. See, here you are passing it to a variable. Here I'm splitting it. I can write my own logic inside. This is called as wire a function. You're writing a function. What is this? This is completely a function. You can write a function in an wire. Whenever you write a function, additional program, wire itself is a decorator. On that, you are decorating with a property or a function. Property is a standard decoration where you're calling the method, passing the variable, and whatever the result that you're getting, that you're storing in a variable called contact. Here, same thing, calling the wire, right? You are first using the wire, calling the method, passing the search text, but there is no variable. The variable I'm converting into a function because I'm writing a program. In the function, I'm assigning the data to a variable which I declared, custom variable that I declared, two custom variables. I'm splitting the errors and this thing. That means whatever you're receiving, you are writing a function. Function means your own logic, your own program you're writing to do this. Right? Everybody clear? Now we come to the page. Right? Lightning card. Where is the lightning card ending? That's the reason it's crying. Control C. Lightning card. Right? This all commenting is creating a problem. I don't know why it's creating a problem. Right? Let us see the comments. Lightning input is there. From there, I've commented everything till here. Right? Then why the lightning template is crying? Template is starting here. Template is ending here. I don't see any issues anywhere. Okay, fine. Even though it gives an error, invalid syntax, invalid syntax. Why invalid syntax? Valid only, no? Template is starting, template is ending. Right? Lightning card is there, card is here, card is ending. Right? Input is there, it's ending there itself.
Lightning card should be closed.
Lightning card, yeah.
Ah, perfect. I was not looking at that. Perfect. Okay, let's do this now. Now, next we will write a wire function. What I will do? Template. Same thing. Let me write here. Template. Template. The placing a data is same for each. For each. Where is the data now? My data is in roop data. My data is stored in this. Template for each roop data. One item for item. For item. I will say, right, RC, roop contact. Right? Now, inside this, you know how to write. P tag. or whatever the data is there, RC, right? RC is there, right? I will say rc.name, rc.id. So I'll say that what in a bracket, rc.first name, rc.first name, right? P requires an ID, key. Key equals to, it always requires a key. Always the keys are ID, rc.id, ID. No, ID is small always. Or I will say the name, right? CONT, contact first name. See, contact first name. This is the way it will come. These are all text, guys. If I remove it, it'll, okay, let me remove it. You'll get confused. Okay, fine. Right? Control S. Control S. Did I save everything? Yes. Yes. Control Shift P. I'm deploying to the source org. See, now there is no more wire. We are no more using wire a property. We are using wire a function now. Perfect. Perfect. A, B. No. A. Oh, it's not working. Let us see why it's not working. A. Actually, it found so many, but it's not displaying the name. I might made a mistake. RC dot first name, spelling is correct or not? Check it. RC dot, okay, let's put name only. Name. The reason is that you're not pulling first name. Why it's not coming up, Rupam? If you go to this class, you are pulling what? Select name. You're not saying select first name, comma last name. So that's the reason system is not showing first name. Whichever field you don't pull, you cannot use them here. I say contact first name. I didn't pulled. If I had have used this first name here, right, comma first name, where in this name, comma first name, Control S. I have to deploy this class also then, right? Controls. Then you can use them here. I can use first name equals to first name. Here, system is working because I can see a lot of name coming up. So that means the loop has a data. The loop has a data, right? Deploy this to source org. How did I understand the problem? You see contact first name, contact first name, contact. It's coming so many times. If I type AB, it's showing only one time because there's only one data. If I remove it, then I get so many. That means there is a data, but the loop is running. If one data one time, 10 data 10 times, but it's not displaying because you didn't pull the first name in your SQL query. Now you see that deployed successfully. There we go. Right now you see it'll come. A. See AB. See how the system is working. Wire a function. earlier. Wire a property. Wire a function, wire a property. Clear, guys? Can both these be run? Yeah. Can we run both? Yes, why not? We can run both. No issues. Remove it. No error. I'm running both now. Control S. Here I'll give a paragraph tag so that it can be separated. Control S, Control Shift P, deploy to the source org. Both will give me the same result. But one will give you a result as a wire a property, other will give you as a wire as a function. Perfect. Cannot refresh, cannot read the data undefined. Cannot read the data. Right? Let us see. Where did we make a mistake? Contact.data, contact.this. Cannot read the data. Let's go ahead. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Right. Here it is. Contact. Because we have used the same name. Here also contact, here also contact. Let's change the name. Contact, right? Contact F. Perfect. Contact F. Control S. Because I have used the same. Here it's a variable. Here also it's a variable, but both have the same name. One is assigning the variable. Another is the same contact. If you go ahead and you write a program, there is no data inside it. So it's giving an error. So I gave a different name. Control Shift P, deploy to the source org. There we go. Now let's see. See, wire a property, wire a function. Both is coming. As soon as I type A, B, both is giving me the data. Same data. See, Barbara Levy. Here also already. One is giving as a property, another is giving as a function. Wire a property, wire a function. Anybody has any questions? Anything you want to know?
Rupam, so I'm just trying to understand the necessity of going with wire function. So basically, when we want to filter the
custom logic,
server side data.
Certain, right? You want to, after receiving the data, you want to filter. After receiving the data, you want to write some custom logic. Then we use wire a function.
Perfect. Yeah.
That's it. Otherwise, if you want complete data, all, then we go by wire a property. Wire a property will give you all. Right?
Got it. Thank you.
Anyone has a question? What is a wire? It's a decorator. Inside the decorator, there's another two decorators. Wire a property, wire a function. What is a decorator? Any additional program is called decorator. Already I have written a program. This is my program, a method. I can call the method, I can pass it, but on that method, I'm doing a lot of additional program. We call them as wire a property, wire a function. Everyone clear? Anybody has any questions? Right. Now the next topic we will start today, but we'll continue tomorrow, called event. Write down LWC events. Put a heading called as LWC events. LWC event. I'm not going to give you the definitions because you have already learned what is an event. Any information, right? What is an event? Any information passed by by a browser to a platform, right? Information passed by a browser or a platform to a system or a browser to a platform, anything you can call it, is called event. In Lightning, you have learned that events are of two types: application event, component event. But in LWC, there is no event classification. Call this is this event, this is application event, this is component event. We don't classify events, right? Any notification or a message passed by a browser is called event. In Lightning, we don't have a classification called component event, application event. Here, right? Write down, okay? Notification passed by a browser or a component or an application. Notification passed by a browser, comma, component or an application regarding an action. Regarding an action is called event. Regarding an action is called event. Is called event. Right? Next line, write down LWC uses standard DOM event. They don't use component, and LWC uses standard DOM event. DOM means they use HTML event. Full stop. LWC doesn't does not use Lightning event. So LWC does not use Lightning event. They use what event? DOM event. Hence, there is no component event. There is no application event here. They use standard DOM events. Events which are built in HTML, they use that. Right? Now, okay, write down DOM event propagation. DOM event propagation. DOM event propagations. Right? DOM event propagation. Right? So write down first how it propagates. Right? DOM event propagation, or also called as DOM event flow. In LWC, how does the event propagates or flow? Number one, create a event. Number two, dispatch event. First one, create event, dispatch event. Next, listen event, listen the event, or handle the event. Here in one step, there are two: listen the event, handle the event. Right? Handling can be done in two ways: declaratively, programmatically. Handling can be done in two ways: declaratively and programmatically. There are two ways to handle it: declaratively, right? Programmatically. All right. Next step, event propagation. Next step, event propagation. Event propagation. And the last, right? After the event propagation, okay, in the bracket, put within the LWC component. Event propagation within the LWC components. Next, within the LWC component. Okay, if you want to be more precise, write down hyphen, right? Parent child. Event propagation between parent and child. Right? Next, event communication. Bracket, unlink components. Bracket, unlinked components. Right? Unlinked components. So, what is the event flow or a DOM event flow or a, right? DOM event propagation. If somebody asks you what is a DOM event propagation or DOM event flow, both are same. Create and dispatch event. Second, listen a event or handle a event. Again, handle event is divided into two: declaratively, programmatically. Next, event propagation. Bracket linked components, parent-child components. Next, right? Communication between component. Unlinked component communication. These are the steps that we'll be following. These are the steps that we'll be following. Right? Now, shall we start today or tomorrow? Because if we start today, we will not be able to complete, right, even the first step. Create and I mean, even if we complete the first step, we will not be able to complete the complete flow. So how do you want to take it? Today, shall we go ahead and create and dispatch the event, and tomorrow we will listen and handle the event? Or you want to do it in a single go? Completely at you. If you say that, no, tomorrow we will create, dispatch, listen, handle, we will do that. Then I don't mind. We can do this. Or if you say that by the time today we do go ahead and create the event, dispatch the event, and tomorrow we will listen and we'll handle. If that's the way you say you will be able to understand, you'll not have an issue, then I'll proceed. If you say no, right, let's create end-to-end in a single day so that we, right, follow that in a single day. Your wish. I don't mind. 25 minutes left. We will not be able to complete end-to-end. What do you want me to do?
Tomorrow should be fine.
Others, tomorrow is okay, or today? Okay, let's do tomorrow. That is the
Today is
reason.
fine.
See, most of the LWC topics are, doesn't last for 1.5 hours. That's the reason, you say that today also 1.5 hours. Tomorrow also, I'll start at 8 o'clock, half an hour later. Because these LWC topics are, while teaching, I realized that they're not neither too long, neither too short. Hence, right, 1.5 hour actually class is enough, even Saturday also. But anyhow, fine. We are meeting 7:30. Let's meet, because if sometime it takes time, then you can ask the doubts. We will meet tomorrow morning again at 8 a.m., not at 7:30. Sunday 8. We will start LWC event, which is very important in your real time, either for creation or for including the interview question. 100%. What is an LWC event? What is a DOM event? What is the difference between a DOM event and right, lightning event? Right? Tell me the DOM event flow. How do you create an event in DOM? How do you dispatch event in DOM? How do you handle the event? We don't have an Aura handler. How will you handle the event? Right? What is declarative handling? What is programmatic handling? Right? So all these concepts will come. How do you handle across the component? Right? How do you propagate an event? Multiple questions will come on this. So let's see tomorrow. We'll meet at morning 8 o'clock. So till then, thank you guys. Have a nice and wonderful rest of the day. Bye bye guys. Take care.